All right, welcome to this Chillderburg Q&A update. I'm doing video on this one so that you can at least recognize me when you get to Chillderburg, in case you are looking for instruction on what to do, where to go, that sort of stuff. And joining me is a Chillderburg veteran. You want to introduce yourself?
of 1 year, so not too much of a veteran, but I've seen things. I've seen things for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I'm BR. I'm the well, I would say the only Euro trash wandering around, but I don't think I will be, will I? Is Anthony coming again?
No, I don't think Anthony is. I think he's going to the LNC, but I'm not 100% sure. Um,
Okay. I might have like.
my wife
Oh
will be
no.
there.
Okay. No, I still won't be the token European. Okay, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's an international affair. I dig it.
It is,
But
yeah. There are a few, yeah.
Yeah, little bit of crossover here. So you might know me from the E-Militia podcast. You probably won't. And also the BR Hates Fed show, and I edit and produce the On War podcast. So too many shows, but I'm busy, and some of you will know me, some of you won't. But anyone going to Childeberg will know me better by the end of the month.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I figured we'd get into a couple of the questions that I've gotten. Um, we'll go ahead and start out with like kind of a generic one. Is I get a ton of questions where people are like, "Hey, am I allowed to do X?" Um,
Yes.
and not X, not specifically ecstasy, but confused out. No, but and the answer is whatever you want to do is fine as long as it doesn't cause trouble for me. And that's kind of the that's sort of the generic rule. Interpret that how you want. But we try to keep a low profile, be respectful to the campground, um, and to your fellow campers, and just make sure that whatever you're doing is safe, and that we're anarchists. We believe in policing yourself. So that's the rule basically with that. So anything that you want to do, I don't really care one way or the other. And it'll be fun. It works out every year. People just click and they figure out what they're going to do. Different people have levels of drinking. Some people don't drink at all. Actually, we had several people who were there last year that were just completely sober. I think I only had like a couple of beers the very last day, and just because I was trying to make sure that I was sober and on, but that's definitely not everybody's thing, and so that's kind of the answer to that. Kind of to sort of follow on that question is a lot of people have also asked, can they sell their stuff? Again, it's up to you. You can set it up, you sell whatever you want to sell. We've had people sell stuff in the past, and just again, be respectful. Keep like being. I'm going to probably say keep a low profile, but like I don't know the rules of vending. I'm not stopping you is kind of the answer to that. So whatever you want to do, go for it. If the ranger comes by and is like, "Hey, you can't do this," then you can't do it. At least while he's there. So
Yeah, that's the
so
beautiful thing about this crowd is like the number one answer to 90% of the questions you're going to get for this thing is common sense. Please don't get any more attention from people we don't want hanging around the camp. And yeah, apart from that, chill.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. So because it is a very like just chill experience. People are going to do whatever they want, and it's really cool too. And it'll kind of get me into some of the other questions that um, not even selling stuff. Some people have been asking, like, "Hey, can I set up this game, or can I put?" Actually, like this year, a good question that people had was, "Can I bring my kids? And is there stuff going on for kids?" Well, I didn't plan anything for kids, but there are going to be kids there, and some of the parents are planning to do stuff with their kids, and
That's cool.
everybody's welcome to do that as well. Um, Actually, more kids this year than last year. I think last year we had maybe 6 or 7. This year, I think we're gonna have a dozen or maybe more, which will be neat. And it's good way for people in our community to make friends. It's good for kids to be around people who have our cultural identity, I guess, and are
Yeah,
sort of
no,
out.
that was something that really stood out was just I mean for anyone who's kind of questioning if they should bring their kids because there's like you said there's lots of different levels, there's lots of different camps, people drinking, not drinking, other things, not, and all that. But the kids, like, it was a very healthy, safe environment. And the kids were so smart, like speaking to the adults,
Oh yeah,
like asking good questions. It was a really cool environment, and anyone who's new to homeschooling, there's gonna be lots of people to talk to about that
yeah,
stuff. So
yeah. I'll talk to
yeah,
you about it. I was homeschooled and I loved it.
yeah,
It was. I'll talk all day long about about the advantages of homeschooling and all that sort of thing. Um, so kind of that the impetus, I guess, of that was, can you bring your kids? The answer is yes. Kids camp free. There's no extra charge for them. Just let us know, and then we'll put you in a space that's big enough for everybody. Um, uh, Also, if you want to set up your own games and your own events and that sort of stuff, also totally cool. You can set them up anywhere where there's open space, and just make sure, again, you're not disrupting anybody else and you're not causing problems at the campsite. You can pretty much put up whatever you want. We'll have bocce, volleyball, cornhole. Um, Last year, the guy from the brewer from Roughdale Brewing, he brought some sort of interesting Swedish game that had to like where you throw sticks. I've never heard of it before. I saw people playing it and I was like, this is actually really interesting. Because like if you knock, like you set them up, and then if you knock one down, then you can use those to like knock other ones down or something like that. I'm not really sure how it worked exactly, but I was watching
See,
people
I will not have the ability to learn a new game the whole weekend. So
play.
so people,
Right.
enjoy, people, but yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. So there will be stuff going on. If you want to bring your own yard games, go for it. There's also the lake. And a couple people asked about that too. There's not any lifeguards. So if you're not a strong swimmer, make sure not to get too deep into the water. And, just be safe. Keep an eye on your kids if they're going to be going swimming. And, but the lake is open access. You jump in it whenever you want. It's not fast moving. It's technically it's a river, but it's a dammed river. So it's pretty slow moving. And, it's nice to jump in and just kind of enjoy it. And, I guess on to the next question. So that's the answers to those. There is no RV hookups. That was one thing that I got a couple of messages about that. You are allowed to bring your RV, but just bear in mind that there won't be any power for it, and there's no sewage connections or anything like that. So you'll just have to store that all on your tank. But you are welcome to bring your RV or your bus or whatever you have. Am I missing anything about like general logistics? Because I have one that's gonna probably be a little bit longer, I guess.
I've got a good one. So you mentioned about the not in this so far, but there was mention of like the Smokepit campsite, and so
Oh, that's
people,
right.
if they want to come and establish like lots of people coming from all over the country and whatever, if they want to get a more I don't know, dedicated campground, how should they go about that without stepping on any toes?
Well, they can email me. We'll have volunteers there this year that'll we'll just spread people out as they arrive. If you have a specific person you want to be next to, or if you have a group of people that you want to be together, like the smoke pit, I'll put the smoke pit in one area, and then I'll just kind of add as people arrive to being around the smoke pit. And then if you want to have your own group or whatever, just let me know and just tell me who's going to be with it. We'll do our best to get the volunteers to kind of get you together. But it's not like the strictest placement.
Yeah.
So if
Naturally.
if you want to move, feel free to move. Just make sure that, I guess the biggest thing to know is the reason we're trying to spread everybody out this year is the difficulty last year was they didn't like us all parking so close together. I guess it wrecks the ground. So so we do have limits for the campsites, like how many people are allowed to be there. I've got a list of it. So if we're too far over in any one spot, I'll just say, hey, let's move these tents over a little bit just to kind of spread out. But for the most part, it's flexible. If you decide after one night you want to move up to the other side of the camp, pack your stuff up, move up to the other side, find a spot, put your tent up, and that'll work.
Happy days.
So yeah, exactly. So if you want, people will do that. I think they did it last year, as people just kind of like rearranged themselves how they wanted to, and that worked out really well. Especially after the first night, I don't think people realized we had so much extra space up in the upper area.
Yeah, that's something else I wanted to ask, because I know there was like brief mention of possibly just our group having the campground for the weekend. What's the situation with that? Will there be other people there?
We have all of it except for one
Holy
spot.
shit.
And
And I'm sure we're going to be quite a bit away from them.
no, they're like right in the center of ours.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. So I don't know how that happened, but and actually, I'm like 99% sure I know who rented it. There was this couple that was there last year, and they've been going to the campsite since like 1984 or something like that. And they say we always get this spot. Uh, we've been going here every single year for a long time. And I said, well, next year I plan on getting all of these, but if you want to stay in this spot, just email me and I'll give it to you. Like, I don't have a problem with that. And
Oh
but
man,
when I
the
logged,
things they're gonna see.
yeah, well, I logged in. I've reserved all of the spots, so everything on that side of the campground is ours, except for that
Mm.
one spot. When I logged in, um, I logged in at like I was in California taking care of my dad, so it was like 7 a.m. California time, and and I logged in and I was like, all right, ready to book these spots. And I looked and I was like, how is there one already gone? So somebody got on there as soon as it was available and got that one spot. And so, uh, but we'll be polite to them. I think we're gonna
Oh,
put
of
up some like
course.
some cotton tape. Last year, one of the complaints they had with us was that people kept walking through their campground, and I think that's
Mm.
something that people who don't camp a lot don't know what camp etiquette is like. Is that uh, stay on the paths because that's kind of the way it is, and I'll put maybe some caution tape or some signs up or something like that around their site so you know that at nighttime when you're walking past it, don't be loud because
Yeah, yeah.
they'll maybe be asleep or something. But they're real friendly people. They were really nice to talk to, and it's kind of cool that they've been going to that campsite for forever, longer than I've been alive. So it was just kind of neat to see it. So that's kind of we've got lots and lots of space, but we also have, I think, almost twice as many people reserve campsites this year as last
Oh
year.
damn,
So it's gonna be a much bigger event. Maybe not
that's
quite
cool.
twice as much, but a lot of people, and I'm sure people will show up the day of and just get their sites then. Um, we do have campsites still available if anybody wants to. I think we have less than 100 spots available. So because we're selling them by spot this time. Um, so I think we have about 100 spots left, but I'll confirm that and I'll post it on Twitter. Um, so one of the other questions I keep getting is an itinerary, and I don't have an itinerary specifically. I'm going to give you kind of some generic stuff. And I am going to probably print one out and put them up around the campground so that people can kind of see what's going on. It's chill, so it's kind of things just sort of happen as they happen, but there are sort of generic things that are going on. So on Saturday, the kind of main generic thing that's going on is the music and comedy show, which is offsite at Iron Wolf Distillery. So we're gonna have Owen Glass doing music, Nikki P's going to be doing music, and then we have Brian, Kyle, and Robbie coming back to do comedy again. So
Hell yeah.
and it's shorter this year. So I learned from last year. I think we were like 2 o'clock to 9:30 last year, which I think was just too long.
I think
Uh,
we were all struggling a bit by the
yeah,
end.
yeah. So this year we're doing 5 o'clock to 9:30. So it'll be a
Nice,
shorter
nice.
show, a little bit shorter music set, and then the same comedy. And then we have Rebecca, who I don't know if you met her last year. They had hot sauce that they were selling.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. Of course, I bought some.
yeah, yeah, and so she does amateur stand up, and she was doing some while at last year around the campfire and stuff, and so
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
gonna
She
she's
came
gonna
up to our site.
yeah, she's gonna open. She's gonna do 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so.
Hell yeah.
So I think that'll be fun for her to do that and see that, and then introduce the other guys. So that's kind of Saturday. Saturday, people are kind of trickling in. Some people arrive Friday night, and
Oh,
but Saturday,
that's a good thing to clarify. So a lot of people they look at this thing, they're like, "Do we get there the Friday?" Blah blah. Blah. Like, what's it look like for the early arrivals, and will you
yeah.
be missing out on anything if you don't get there Friday?
No, not really. You're not really missing out on anything other than just kind of hanging out with people, which is part of the whole point. We do have very limited space on Friday, so it was
Oh, so it's not booked for Friday.
right. Yeah, yeah. So what I posted it on the thing in the ticket thing that the first 120 people got Friday night for free.
Mm.
I'll send out a email to the first 120 people and just say, hey, yeah, you're included in this. Let me know if you're going to be here or not. And then as people say yes or no, then I'll be able to send out another one and tell people yes or no on that. So I'll take care of that actually this week. That's a good thing to bring up. But we are going to be there Friday night. If you are planning to come Friday night, email me and I'll let you know. And or you can hit me up on Twitter. That works too. But I mean, pretty much everybody who bought within the first month or so is included. And if you bought later, just email me and we'll work something out. So that's so Friday is not technically the first day, but a lot of people do arrive there just because it's more convenient. I'll actually be down there probably Thursday night. Because I want to. Last year I got in so late and we didn't really get to set anything up. And then as soon as I woke up, there's tons of people there. So I think what I'm going to try to do is get down there Thursday night, camp, have a campfire and just like drink some beers and stuff. And then on Saturday I'll set up my tents and my sails and all the games and all that sort of stuff. So those will be available when people start arriving. And then so that's Friday. Saturday, again, it's just chill until there's the show. And then after the show, usually people come back to the campsites. Probably Robbie and Kyle and Brian will come back and hang out and talk to people. And then Sunday, we do have several stuff going on. We've got Agora Brewing is going to be doing his mead tasting again this year. So that is he's going to do it in like cycles over the course of a couple of hours. So,
cool. Yeah, he kind of got swarmed.
Yeah. So I think what he's going to do
he killed it though.
yeah. I think he's going to do like tasting tickets or something like that. So you'll get a ticket for your time.
That's cool.
We'll also do the traditional fruitcake raffle this year, which we kind of botched a little bit last year, but we did the quilt raffle. So we'll do the fruitcake raffle this year, like we do traditionally, and Rollo will be running that on Saturday. There's going to be some live podcasting. I'm sure tons of people are going to be doing live podcasting the entire weekend, but I know Robbie wants to do a live show on Sunday, and there's a couple others who just said, can I do a live show? You can kind of do them whenever you want to do them. I am going to have Eric set up under a tent with kind of a live podcasting area. So if you want to just arrange a time to kind of go there and draw a crowd, it's fun to have people watching you doing the podcasts. And
that's what I was very jealous of last year. I was like, all right, I gotta figure out something this time. But I didn't know he was setting up an actual like little thing for us. That's cool.
Yeah. So there was a couple of things. It was, first of all, it was hot. So, and there wasn't a lot of great shade. So I'm going to get the tent set up this year so that there'll be some shade. And then also, I think there's a worry that if it rains, which it does rain almost every year, I think the second year we didn't have any rain, or maybe we had a very tiny amount. But it's usually only for 10, 15 minutes or something like that. I think actually
it's
Friday
atmospheric.
Night. It is. Yeah. I mean, it's just part of Texas, but I'm worried about his stuff getting wet. So like having it underneath a tent that gives you a little bit of time to collect it and break it down in case it does start raining, I think is helpful. And it'll also kind of give a focus point so that people go, oh, what's going on over here? Oh, there's some live podcasting. Let's go check it out.
Wander past the table.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is fun.
Oh, hey guys, you got a lighter? Oh, dude. But no, I'll definitely be doing that. I know Time on Earth will be. There's going to be plenty of people, I'm sure. I mean, Christ, who doesn't know a podcaster?
And a Slurp Gang, I think, is going to. I think.
Oh yeah, of course.
At least two of the Slurp Gang people are going to be there this year, and so they'll probably do something live. I think Patrick from Liberty Weekly is going to be there. I'd love him to do something live. I love his show, and I mean, it's a really great atmosphere. There's going to be tons of that, and then Sunday night, Owen Glass is going to do like an acoustic campfire performance at the campground. So if you'll just find their campfire and they're going to play some songs, maybe Nikki P will join in. If anybody is a musician, wants to bring their guitar or ukulele or whatever, bring it and, just have fun.
Woodstock vibes.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's kind of thing is like, I love doing campfire stuff. Like campfire songs and things like that. So it'll be fun. Like sing-alongs and stuff like that are a lot of fun. I grew up doing that and I've always liked it. So I'm looking forward to it. Then I've got, Monday. So Monday is a day we're supposed to be checked out, I guess at 2:00. But just kind of wander out when you're ready to wander out. organize rides, that sort of stuff. Because I know a lot of people are going to be organizing rides to get back to the airport in Austin. If you need help organizing a ride, join the Discord, put it out there. People are going to be carpooling back and forth, and we'll figure out how to get everybody from the airport to the campground and back.
Oh, a quick note on the ride thing. Is the same thing going to be available for the to get to the brewery?
No, so
Oh,
this
okay.
year, yeah. So I don't know if it's inflation or what, but the van was like 3 times as expensive as last year.
Ah, damn.
Yeah. So what I got this year instead is I got a truck, and the truck can fit, I think, 6 people. So we'll be doing the truck back and forth. I got a couple of volunteers who are going to be doing cars back and forth and staying sober. So look out for people who are willing to carpool. And technically in Texas, you're allowed to ride in the bed of a truck. That's up to you.
Depends on if you grew up in the country or not.
Yeah. I mean, I did. When I was a kid, we used to ride around the neighborhood in my dad's truck all the time. But
Yeah, likewise.
I don't have a problem with it. If you grew up in the country, it's kind of normal. If you didn't, that may be scary to you. But it is legal in Texas, and so just if you want, hop in the back. But we'll be going back and forth, and there's going to be a couple of other people going back and forth. My wife's going to she'll move her car back and forth, which can fit 5 or 6 people, and she'll do a couple of trips, and so we'll get everybody there. And anybody who wants to drink and doesn't want to drive, we'll get you a ride. So don't sweat it. But that's a good question about the ride. So we are going to have some sort of ride availability, but make sure to try to carpool with each other as much as possible, because it's a little bit more limited than last year, just because of the van. It astonishes me how much more expensive it was. Because like last year, I was actually surprised at how cheap it was last year. I went with a different van people. The first year, I went with this company called Caps, and it was expensive. And I think I lost out on the cost of that year. And then for last year, I went with this other company that was like this really ragtag outfit down there by the airport. But
that's what we like.
Yeah, exactly. The van was great, and it was so cheap. And then this year I called them up and I was like, hey, I want to do that again. And they were like, instead of it being like $300 or whatever, it was like $950.
They realized they were missing a trick. They were like,
yeah, I was like, I can't afford that. It's like we're on a fixed income here. So we're not doing that, but I've got a vehicle. So we are going to be trying to get people back and forth, from there. Anything else that's going on? But yeah, so Monday, it's just people are going. I don't have the menu. Cook Shanty is going to be doing food again this year. So if he's a great cook, he's got a menu up. Look him up on Twitter, Cook Shanty on Twitter. I think I put the menu in the last newsletter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw it.
Okay, yeah. So if you didn't get the newsletter, go to chillderburg.com, sign up. I'll be putting out another newsletter probably later this week. But he'll be doing some food. It's nice to be able to get a head count and to let him know how much he needs to prepare. So go ahead and just let him know on Twitter, hey, you're going to be there. We'll get kind of a generic head count and plan accordingly. It's for donation, and all proceeds go to Free Ross. So check that out. That's kind of our main thing. I don't know if I've already mentioned that, but anything above cost for Chillderburg goes to Free Ross. Every year we've far exceeded whatever it costs to do. We're still quite a bit away from breaking even this year.
Lost nervously.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but we do accept donations on chillderburg.com. We still have shirts available. We still have camp spots available. So all those things are going to help us cover the costs. Once tickets for the show is pay what you want. Bring money for the fundraisers. We'll have the raffles, the mead tasting, so you can buy mead as well. Any sort of proceeds above costs will go to freeross.org. I think last year we raised $1,400, which was pretty good. Hopefully we can beat that this year. But we'll see what we get.
Inevitable Q&A question, but can people donate in crypto?
Yes, Bitcoin only though.
So. Killer. All right, cool. Yeah, Bitcoin and cash are king. For anyone wondering.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
There's no square terminals.
yeah. Yeah, so we do accept Bitcoin on the site. Also, if you want to donate in crypto while you're there, or Bitcoin, um, Rollo will be able to accept it. I usually don't have cell phone reception. I can accept it, but I don't usually have cell phone reception down there. I think it's because of my provider. But Rollo had service last time, so I think that he'll be able to take it. He also, you have to talk to him. I don't know as much about crypto and stuff like that as he does. I have Bitcoin in my wallet, and that's all I know. I listen to Rollo.
I have been told to have it, and so I do.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah. I mean,
this is the way.
I'm thoroughly convinced. Like, you know, the point made sense. I read the Bitcoin Standard. I was like, oh, this makes sense. But that's about as far as I got. Set up the wallet. Actually, I am running a node, but set up the wallet, set up the node, put your money there, and forget about it. And that's sort of how I that's how I figured it out.
Hey,
Beyond that,
running a node's a little bit better than $100 like someone's nephew bought them for Christmas, like so. But all right, so we've got the schedule down, we've got food, we've got arrivals and stuff. Uh any other main points you have down?
I just want to kind of reiterate some of the what you should brings stuff.
Mm,
So it does cost $5 to park per day.
yes.
So that is charged by the campsite. So there is a machine up there at the top that you can put in your thing and get it for 3 days. I don't think there's a discount. I think it's still $5 a day. But um, uh, if you if you're flying in and you're not bringing a tent, I do have a couple of tents and sleeping bags still available. But most of them have been spoken for. So make sure you're bringing something to sleep in, a tent or a sleeping bag. This is something that nobody asked me this year, but previously people have said, "Hey, are you providing tents?" I have some, but they're mostly for people flying in, and I think I have like two or three left. So, um, just bring your own. Uh, we did mention food. Cook Shanty will be there, but you are responsible for your own food. So if he runs out and you're still hungry, it's on you.
Yeah,
So
that was the wildest thing last year. I brought like all of my own food, like all camping stuff. Didn't cook once because
yeah,
people were just like, "Hey, you want some food? Like, just
here.
cut. Yeah, hey, try this." I'm like, I was never hungry. It was paradise.
Yeah, and there's people bring a lot of stuff that's just good to try. Um,
Yeah.
I've never had it before, but Tommy Salmon's wife, uh,
Yes, I was about to say if you didn't.
she brought that is it biltong, the beef jerky?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think that's what it is. South African meats and stuff, which is
it's very good.
delicious.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a treat. There was also some interesting sausages that people had, and then
Tons of
Coach
hot
Shanty.
sauces.
Oh, all sorts of hot sauces, other stuff. Another thing I want to kind of reiterate is it's Texas. It's hot. Um,
Yes.
Make sure to drink a lot of water because I know people are going to be drinking booze. Stay hydrated because it's really easy to forget how hot it is because once you're out there and used to it and you're just running around talking and stuff like that, it's not so bad. Like I spend tons of time outside here. It was like 94 today, and
Yeah.
I just hung out outside for half of the day. But you forget about it, and then you realize later on, like, oh, I should have been drinking more water. So make sure to. There's no running water down at the campsites. There is running water up at the top of the campsite where you check in or where you come in. There's running water up there. So if you want water or you want purified water, make sure to bring it with you. Um, Bug spray, sunscreen, camping chairs, ice, firewood. Um, that's all I have on my list of things that you need to bring. So those are kind of my last items to reiterate to people.
Yeah.
Firewood's always
Um. Oh yes. Yeah. Everyone
people forget.
appreciates
Yeah,
not running out.
and everybody always forgets about it, and then they're you're looking around for firewood. So if you want to have a fire, um, bring some extras if you have it at your house or something like that. Just throw some firewood in the back of your car and share. But there is a town nearby that's not too far away. So if you do run out of anything, you can drive up to the town. It's 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and if you're coming in and you like, you've had a bit of a drive and you forget something, I mean, also a good thing for fuel and stuff to, save yourself a few bucks. Maybe don't fill up, all of your big water things and then drive 14 hours,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
fill
yeah.
up
Right.
maybe fill up once you've got to Texas, but I know, all that stuff's tight at the minute, but
Yeah, yeah.
considerations.
Right. Yeah.
Um
So I think that's it. That's you know, bring Gatorade if you need to, just in case. There's always a possibility of rain, which we already mentioned.
yes,
So
yeah.
uh
Shorts
so
and rainwear.
yeah, yeah, just in case. I mean, most of the time it rains and clears up, but it can be pretty hard. So like last year it was like this storm just kind of came through right as soon as we got there, just poured, and then it was, I think it rained one more time that weekend, but for like about 10 minutes. Um
Yeah, again, atmospheric kind of rain rather
yeah,
than
exactly.
like everything is ruined. Although the Friday night people, when we
That
arrived,
was pretty rough. Yeah.
I wasn't there for that, but we
Oh,
arrived
okay.
and everyone's tents were hanging upside down. We're like, oh, I guess this is Chillderburg. I didn't know it would be this weird, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then it was a pretty intense rainstorm there that first day. We arrived just as that rainstorm was getting there, and but then again it cleared up, and I think that one lasted maybe 45 minutes or an hour. Then it cleared up, and the rest of the weekend was great.
yeah.
So yeah, but just be aware of that. If you're worried about getting wet, like just bring some sort of rain gear, and you'll be all right. And it's hot again, like I said, so it'll dry out. Um, just keep your eye out for that. Um, I'll read my last paragraph of what I always put in the supplies portion. I said, I say, anything else you think you might need, make sure to bring it. We are libertarians and anarchists or voluntarists or whatever you want to call it. We take care of ourselves so that we can help others. So make sure to take care of yourself and make sure that you're good so that you can help other people out if they need it.
Well, I mean, we had a convert just because you guys had extra tents last year, right?
That's right. He might be coming again this year. Uh,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
one
So
of us, one of
yeah,
us.
yeah,
Gobble
yeah.
gobble.
Yeah, he's great. I've been talking. I text with him quite a bit. He's a helicopter pilot. He's really neat. He's a really cool guy.
Oh,
Um,
that's a good catch.
yeah, yeah. He's a neat dude. Like he's just a neat guy. So I'll message him again after this actually, just to make sure he's been getting our newsletters and stuff. But he loved it. He loved it. At first he was keys locked in car guy, and then he became Grillberg, and then he calls himself Grill Bird. So he's got a whole bunch of iterations of names, but
I I respect it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but he's some guy who was next to our campsite that first night, locked his keys in his car, and we couldn't get him out, and he was waiting for AAA. So I was like, well, you know what? Might as well just go to sleep. You want to sleep in the tent? I had extra tents, and so he just went and slept in one of those, and it was good. So
I love it. And now
yeah,
everyone not only knows what to do when they arrive, but they're caught up on the lore. And now you too can be part of the story.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, so that's it. Am I missing anything? Do you think?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't know if you wanna. We kind of answered it in the first bit, but just to reiterate, it's Texas. There might be some guns around. What's the kind of? You have any notes on that for people?
I don't actually know what the campsite's requirements are, but again, it's Texas, so just you know, use good sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, because
yeah.
I know it's something that we addressed at the start, common sense and all that, but I know still there'll be someone like, hey, I carry. It's like we're
I mean,
anarchists. Just
yeah.
be respectful. Don't be an idiot, etc.
I know plenty of people who always carry.
Yeah, I know the ton there
Yeah,
last year.
yep. And you know how to do it. You know how not to be obnoxious about it. So and it's actually, and this is a constitutional carry state too. So that's the that's the law. So you can carry here. It's legal. I don't
Yep.
know what the campsite. I don't know what the campsite requires, but just again, we're not. They really don't care what we're doing. They don't come by. They come by and empty like the trash or check the porta potties and stuff like that. Maybe once or twice, but for the most part, as long as you're just having a good time and not causing any trouble, they leave you alone. Um,
Yeah.
I know the ranger came out last year that first day. and it was just because there were so many cars in one spot, and he didn't believe that we had. And I said, no, 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 I've rented all of this, so we do have enough space. Just everybody's parked here. And his biggest concern was just spread it out. And also, I didn't know this; they informed me, but we were supposed to have a land use permit. We have a land use permit this year, and so we're allowed to have, I think, 300 people officially. So, and I think we'll probably have over the weekend we'll have about that much. I don't think
Yeah.
we'll have that many people camping, but I think people coming through there'll be about 300.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it, man. Little
yeah, it's
pop
going to
up
be tons of
Chillderburg
fun.
town.
Yep. Yeah. Go plug your stuff. Also, check out his article on Chillderburg from last year on his on the Anarch.
Oh yeah, if you want kind of a general idea of what the vibe is, I wrote down my newcomer experiences to. Is that year 3? Was that last year?
Yeah, 3. Yeah, it was
I
Russian 3, which sounds just like R3. So
and yep, this year's Chillderburg Vier. But yeah, you can catch up on all that and the events of last year on the Anarch. So that's anarchist without the ist.substack.com, and I wrote that up. It's what is Chillderburg, the article, and there's a bunch of other great stuff on there. I'm about to publish an article on building Molotov, so that gives you an
oh, cool.
idea of on the kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And yeah, then you can also find me at on the BR Hates Fed show on Twitter at I forget all this right. BR Hates Feds, and on Instagram at br.the.anarch, and the Emailish podcast as well, which I do with a bunch of
All
other
right.
guys.
Cool. Yeah, and that's it. Check out childerberg.com. If you haven't gotten a campsite, if you haven't gotten a shirt, if you haven't donated, if you haven't got your show tickets, do all that. So that's it, I guess. I always say stay free at the end of my shows, so stay free.